Yo, it's Friday. Consumers gonna do what consumers gonna do. Thanks for flashing that sticker, Kyle. Talking about catalytic car theft today. Some new elements of sales and why the top of funnel is important.
The people really want to know.
Serious faces. Got a heavy bounce. Heavy bounce on a Friday. I mean, like, look, energy on a Friday when, like, the last real sales day of the month is a Saturday.
Yeah.
Palpable in auto.
Look, everyone I talk to, it's like, it's the end of the month. Let's go. It's the end of the month. Get it done. Like, it's the end of the month. Can't answer this email. Do it next week, right? And I think that's always the energy around a Saturday close. It's just like, let's go, everybody.
And the thing is about it, I feel maybe it's just me, but I feel like this is kind of feeling like a nostalgic energy for an end of month close. Like, I feel like this level of energy hasn't been around in like last day of the month close for quite a while, like pre-pandemic. I don't know, there's something about getting back to normal and restrictions being lifted and all that makes me feel like we're back in the game.
You know what's interesting? Even I've got like this text thread with some of people that are all on the vendor partner side, and even there, it was like the first time. I mean, we've been on this like text thread. There's like 15 of us that have been on it for 8 or 9 months, and it's a really but this month in particular, like 2 days ago, there was this whole thread about close strong, right?
Interesting.
So it's on both sides, right? It's like everybody's like, close strong, go get it, get that last deal, go serve the customer, serve the dealer, whatever it is. So I think there is that. I think you're right. That energy's there.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it today. You're flashing the consumer's going to do what consumers going to do sticker at the beginning. I have my early mornings are for troublemakers mug in my hand. We were wearing our Asodu hats. Do you have an Asodu shirt on today?
I don't. I went full black.
Full black. I have a little no crisis can win action going on over here. But the point of all that to say is, if you like this swag and you see it, we're wearing it all the time because we love it. It's comfortable. It says something about us and about the industry. If you love the swag, you can actually get some by coming to the party on May 9th. We're having a big event May 9th in Tampa after the first evening of Digital Dealer. It's going to be a thing. The Asodu Family Reunion remix.
I thought about this last night. I have not traveled. This is crazy since like late January.
Oh, because of the baby.
Really wild. Because the baby, like we hit late January. I think we were supposed to go somewhere in February.
NADA.
My son had COVID, and then March was NADA, so didn't get out then. And then it's just been like with baby, and I'm just excited to be with people in the automotive industry again, dealers, industry partners, all that type of stuff. So I'm really starting to get just
jazzed up. Yeah, the energy is starting. So if you haven't gotten tickets yet, go to asotu.com, banner at the top of the page. Just click on it. We definitely have tickets left. If you are a dealer, you get in for free thanks to our friends at AutoFi. And also want to introduce or just announce a cool little collab we have going on. Just came up yesterday with our friends at Women in Automotive. They're hosting a mixer at the same event, and I think they have like 30 or 40 spaces left. If you're in a member of Women Automotive, look out for an email from them because we have a nice little thing. If you go to their mixer, you also get to go to our party, and I'll bring all that. When you walk into the party, you're getting 50 Asodu bucks, and wait till you see what the design of the Asodu bucks is. It's pretty awesome, and you get to spend that money at the pop-up retail store we're setting up, so you can get like swag.
So I love it because then you get to choose what you get.
Oh yeah, you get to do a little shopping,
adventure.
little retail therapy.
Instead of getting the bag that everybody doesn't want, you get to get the bag of stuff that you want. Which
No
is really
squishy
fun.
balls, no pens, no bottle openers, no car
selfie
chargers.
sticks,
They're
right?
all cool, all cool. But we'll let you get all those on the show floor. You're just getting like real high quality swag at our
There you
show. We have a lot of special guests coming. Come and meet and rub elbows with some of the smartest people in the industry. We really just, as you can tell, we just want to see you there. We just want to hang out. Come meet us in person if you haven't yet. And like, let's hang out and jam a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of that. We also have all things used cars on Clubhouse coming up. If you're on the live stream in just 15 minutes from now, 9 a.m. Eastern, where, I mean, last year we had what, Kyle, like 140, 150 people in the room at one time.
Yeah, there's no reason why at some point this year we shouldn't see 1,000 people across the industry in that thing, because there is so much value, learning, insights, actionable stuff that comes out of that.
Real talk.
So bring friends, text everyone. If you're on this live stream, if you're listening to the show, make sure and listen back to it. If you can't, you know, if it's the end of the month, because I guarantee you the insights that are in there are unbelievable. And that talking about the consumer intent right now. And I think cars.com did a study today. And so there's that we're going to be looking at, and there's just so much good in there. So
yeah, we're
kudos to David Long for putting that together.
No doubt. I wish we could quantify the amount of revenue and dollars generated from people that have made changes and tweaks as a result of listening to that room. It's got to be staggering. Today's topic: are you prepared for a changing market? If you haven't realized it, things are in the middle of a shift. And we're not talking like the big upheaval shift of the last 2 years. We're talking about the way we've been doing it for like the last 3 months or so. The market's shifting and the market's changing. We're going to talk about a few of those topics on the show this morning as we see them coming. But really the big idea, Kyle, that we're talking about today is this idea of how big is the top of the funnel? You know, specifically speaking, a lot of focus on the bottom of the funnel. When there was tons of inventory everywhere, bottom of the funnel, it was just a grind day in and day out, trying to snipe the little bottom of the funnel, you know, leads as they fell out of the funnel, and everybody, I would just say, just shooting at them from both sides, seeing if you can hit one. Now it's different. Bottom of the funnel kind of takes care of itself. I won't say that fully, you know, with an asterisk, but it's a great time to focus on the top of the funnel, because that is where you get all the future opportunities in. So that's kind of the context by which we're going to be presenting a few of the stories from today. The first story is definitely a little bit of it took me a little bit by surprise, but I was like, you know what, this is interesting. And I got to admit, I clickbaited the title just a little bit. Cat theft on the rise, but a cat is in quotes. When I say cat, that was the first time I felt a little guilty. I was like, this is a little clickbaity, but it's kind of fun. So we'll do it, because some people are like, yes, let's steal those cats. And some people were like, oh my gosh, not the cats, right? These are catalytic converters. If you don't know what it is a little device that is in line with your exhaust. And forgive me if you think that this is like too low of an education, but our goal is to like, hey, if you just came into the industry,
absolutely,
you know what a catalytic converter is. And
I didn't know what a cat was when I came in the industry.
Me neither. So basically, it's in front of your muffler. It's in your exhaust pipe in line, and the gases pass through the converter. They interact with some rare earth metals that are in there, and it actually reduces the carbon output. So it really is an EPA thing. It's an environmental thing. It's an efficiency thing. Well, these things are not packed, but they have a few grams of rare earth metals in them, like palladium, platinum, one I never heard of called rhodium. Yeah. But a lot of these too are materials that are going in EV batteries. So extremely, so we're creating our own problem here. But rhodium, for instance, $1,600 an ounce.
What?
$1,600 an ounce. Yeah, I was like, platinum's only $990 an ounce.
What? A catalytic converter is like $19 or something. No, it's a little bit more than that, but
they're expensive. They're expensive. So here's
expensive.
The deal. People are just cutting, like, you know, criminals are cutting these off from underneath the vehicle. So you go out to start your car in the morning and it sounds like a Hellcat with straight pipes, you know?
Yeah.
And so people are stealing these left and right. In 2018, there was only 1,200 reported thefts. In 2020, there was 14,000.
Goodness.
2021 numbers aren't available yet, but I mean, we're talking like 1,000% increase.
Holy cow. This is interesting because then I was telling you this earlier, but we had a gentleman on Pitch Tank on Clubhouse last year that was talking about this, like the reality of the theft increase, and they have like an underbody cover that fits the majority of vehicles. That's hard to get off, increases time to get that catalytic converter, because I guess like it lengthens the time from like 8 minutes for a really skilled theft to like an hour and a half, and so
that's
you
not
reduce the
happening.
intensity, right? And so yeah, so everybody in the room was kind of like, nah, not that big of a deal, right? And now probably AutoNation, who had 66 vehicles waiting on catalytic converters, would be like, check please.
No
right?
doubt. But
Interestingly enough, back to your top of funnel, that gentleman was filling the top of funnel. And so what are
Yes,
you
he
doing right
was.
now to think about what the top of funnel is for you? If you're talking to customers about this reality and how you're involving them in the stories that they're reading and presenting yourself as an expert on the brand of understanding vehicle ownership.
One day in this is from an Automotive news article. One day in April in Houston, AutoNation Toyota Gulf Freeway had 66 vehicles waiting to have their catalytic converters replaced after thieves stole them. Do you think that they should have this product in stock?
Potentially, yes, I would say.
Because here's the deal: one of the most popular vehicles to steal them from are some Toyotas, a Toyota Tundra, just because they have 4 catalytic converters under them.
Golly.
And basically someone at the high ground clearance, right? So you slip under there with a battery powered Sawzall, cut those things off, and within 10 minutes you have like $1,000 worth of black market value. So
goodness.
So they're saying one Tundra was down for 167 days. And I don't know if you noticed, but the parts train is a little bit slower than it used to be.
The parts train, the inventory train, just a wee bit slower.
So obviously they're trying to move to legislation to like help verification, like eliminate the black market by not giving thieves a place to sell these. But like Kyle was saying, in the interim, we included this article and we're talking about it today because there are always opportunities to say, like, how can we build the top of funnel? How can we serve customers? How can we inform them? How can we, support them in this? And, we haven't talked a lot about, fixed ops and parts. And I think we need to more, right? It's kind of like the lifeblood of the dealership every day and day out. If you didn't know that already.
Yes, exactly.
So a little bit of a sideways story. No one's stealing felines, right? Catalytic converter. So calm down.
Exactly. All right. Next, we want to talk about like a tale of two stories, right? Because we're getting all of these Q1 reports. And interestingly enough, you've got one of the growth reports from the automotive sector, especially Sonic Automotive, reported a $97.3 million net income increase year over year. That's 80% year over year increase in
couple
Q1.
Of bucks.
Just a wee couple of bucks. And then right next to that, you've got Amazon recording their first quarterly loss
since 2015, right? Yeah. Remember that first profitable quarter? Everyone's like, we told you so.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So really interesting, I think, to see like what automotive is doing in relationship to the rest of the world, especially. I mean, we're seeing a lot of, of services that came really heavy in the pandemic, which are things like Netflix or all of the bike sales services like the in-home bikes like Peloton and things like that are seeing losses now for the first time in a very long time. And automotive is still accelerating. And it's interesting because typically automotive is kind of the leading indicator for whatever is happening next in the economy, but automotive is still leading out in profitability where others are seeing a downturn. So it's a very interesting dynamic that economies of scale are seeing right now.
Without a doubt. Amazon, one of the things that actually, strangely enough, is dragging their profits down is their 18% stake in Rivian. Whoa. Which, I mean, Rivian lost 65% of its value so far this year. If you remember, Amazon made a big investment in Rivian. They have delivery vehicles and they're, trying to get in the game. So, I wouldn't say all of automotive.
Something retail automotive, something franchise, something like that. Is that
There's
what you're
something
telling
about
me?
franchise retail automotive that just has this little thing that just seems to be more resilient.
We're going to call it, I don't know if you've heard us say this before, or if maybe people just don't recognize that we talk about this a lot, but we call it the human element, right?
Something about that.
We just keep coming back to it, but it's so real that I think a lot of people are starting to understand that, especially coming out of the pandemic. We've got we're losing a lot of all of the restrictions and mass restrictions and restrictions to be in places with people together. Almost everything's gone in the States right now. And what I think is interesting about that is people are leaning into places where they can create relationships. Actually, you saw a Wall Street Journal article that said people are spending more money on eating out, more money on entertainment. And people are spending what we're seeing more money on doing business with car dealers where they can actually be with people managing relationships for purchasing, not just doing purchasing in a stale environment.
So true.
And I think that that's really important when we talk top of funnel. We talked about this yesterday, but emphasizing your brand more as your people, not as the things that you give them as freebies, right? And that's managing your top of funnel and continuing to see automotive enhance the conversation, especially franchise retail automotive, and drive the customers, the human element into the retail automotive, like overall brand, not just for your store.
Without a doubt. I mean, this is great. Going into the last day of the month, that is a Saturday, right? And all the energy there, it's the human element. Automotive, listen up. Whether your sales, service, parts, the human element is your top of funnel. It is your top of funnel. It's not a piece of software. Like, process and software should serve people, not the other way around. So don't get confused. They're both so important, but the human element is our edge, right?
Come on.
It's it. When we talk about people going out to eat and entertainment, guess who is in the same restaurants? Guess who is in the same theater halls with them? Hundreds and thousands of franchise retail automotive employees.
Come on.
Right?
We're in all the spaces. Everybody's out there. Yeah. I can't. I'm really geared up. I'm like, let's go knock down some walls. Matt Lasher somewhere's ears are burning and he's like standing on a table clapping because this is what he preaches as well. Who's a good friend of both of ours. So good.
Oh, that was the wrong one. All that to be I can't get the button right. Here we go. All right. So all that being said, we hope that you remember the human element going into this weekend. It is your top of funnel. It is the reason this industry is so resilient. We might just drop a special podcast episode on Saturday. So watch out for that.
Good